Hi everyone, a very good evening and welcome to today's live session. This is Gayatri here. Today, as you all know, is a concept session exclusively for the titanium students, and the topics that we are going to be discussing today is directions and blood relations from reasoning ability. So first we will look into the topic directions and then we will move on to blood relations. Both these topics are fairly easy topics from reasoning ability, especially directions. If you are very good with the direction sense, there is a basic directions diagram that you have to keep in mind. If you know that, then solving the questions from this topic is fairly easy. And coming to blood relation, again, if you draw the generations properly with the family tree in the questions, then solving it will become easier. So let's start. So first we look into directions and then we will move into blood relations. So as we always do, we will first discuss the basics of directions and then we will solve questions from directions. Then we will discuss basics of blood relations and then we will solve questions from that. So first let us discuss about directions. See, whenever you have questions on directions, the most important thing that you have to remember is the directions diagram. So the directions diagram is this: north, south, east and west. You should know which is north, south, east and west. So always represent, draw this diagram whenever you have questions that come from this topic. So these are the major directions, okay? North, south, east and west. They are the major directions. Sometimes they are referred to as cardinal directions. And you have, see, between north and east, this direction is called as northeast. Between south and east, this direction is called as southeast. Similarly, between west and south, this is called as southwest, and between north and west, it is called as northwest. So these directions, north, west, southeast, northeast, southwest, these are called as intercardinal directions. Okay, so whenever questions on directions come, the main basic directions diagram you should remember. Now you can also remember it like this. See, when we write NE, see, this is what we actually write. If you write it in the clockwise directions, you'll have N on top followed by E, S and W. That's one way in which you can remember how to draw the directions diagram. Now, questions from directions, either the question will be like a person is moving, let's say he's moving first walking towards east, then he's turning left, then right. Like what are the things that he do, they give. Finally, the question will be what is the direction that he is facing now. So in such cases, this direction diagram will very clearly help us. At times in questions what they ask is what is the distance of the person from the starting point. So that is the second type of questions that come. See, generally questions from directions, either they ask you for the final direction in which the person is moving or facing, or similarly what they'll ask us, what is the distance that the person has travelled, or what is the distance between the starting point and the finishing point. Otherwise they ask you in which direction is the finishing point with respect to the starting point. So these are the general types of questions that you can expect from this topic, directions. In many times the Pythagoras theorem that we learn, right, that is very useful. What is the Pythagoras theorem? If you take a right angle triangle, if this side is A and this side is B, the hypotenuse is nothing but root of A squared plus B squared. Or I can say, if hypotenuse is C, I can say C is equal to root of A squared plus B squared, or C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. So this also comes in handy while solving a lot of questions from this topic. Then the next most important thing that you should know is about shadows. Okay, so questions on shadows is also very common when it comes to this topic, direction. So what is this logic of shadows? See, where does the sun rise? The sun rises in the east and the sun sets in the west. First thing that you need to know before you understand the shadow logic is that sun rises in the east, sets in the west, and always the shadow will fall opposite to the side of the sun's position. Like for example, let us first consider it is sunrise. Okay, it is sunrise and we have, let's just draw the directions diagram here, north, south, east and west. So where does the sun rise? The sun rises in the east. So the sun is rising here in this direction. Now I am facing the sun. There is a person who is facing the sun. So this boy is facing the sun and standing. Now where will his shadow be? See, the sun's rays hits him like this and his shadow will be towards his back. Correct? It will be towards the west. So always remember, whenever the sun is rising, the shadow will be towards the west. Or if a person is standing facing the sun, during sunrise, his shadow will fall behind him. Towards west means it is falling behind him. Similarly, let us say if it is sunset, okay, if it is sunset, what's happening? Sunset means sun is going to be in the west direction, and there is a person who is facing the sun and standing, means he is facing towards west and standing. When it is sunset, what will happen? When it is sunset, the shadow will be towards the east. Basically, sun is towards the west and shadow will be towards the east. So if this person is standing facing the sun during sunset, his shadow will be again towards his, it will be behind him, or it will be towards the east. So this is the basic concept of shadows that you need to know. Shadows always fall to the opposite side of the sun's position. So when you look at east and west, it's very easy to find out, correct? Now again, let us consider the case of sunrise. Now first, what did we see? We saw that during sunrise there is a person who is facing the sun or who is facing the east. In that case, his shadow will be towards his back or behind him. Now in the same sunrise, if there is, this is the sunrise, correct? Sun is towards the east. If there is a person who is facing the west, then where will his shadow be? See, during morning, the sun is towards the east, so the shadow has to be towards the opposite direction of the sun, that is towards the west. So if a person is standing towards west, his shadow will also be in this direction. The shadow has to be towards the west during sunrise. So this person's shadow will also be in this direction, or I can say that the shadow is in front of the person, correct? In this case, the shadow was behind the person. When the person was facing east, the shadow was behind him. When the person is facing west, the shadow is in front of him. Similarly, if you are looking at sunset, and sunset means the sun is towards the west, and if there is a person who is facing the east, again here the shadow will be in front of him, because during sunset, sun is towards the west, so the shadow will be towards the east. If the person is facing east, the shadow will be in this direction, or it will be in front of him. Okay, so this is how you understand in which direction the shadow will fall in case of sunrise and sunset when a person is facing east or west. So is it clear? Now we will look at in cases of north and south, a person facing north and a person facing south. Okay, how to find out the shadows. Same concept has to be extrapolated there also. So let us see. Now let us assume that it is sunrise. It is sunrise. So in that case, the sun is going to be towards the east, and I am assuming that there is a person who is, yes, it is clear, there is a person who is facing north. So if there is a person who is facing north, in which direction will the shadow fall? See, I know that during sunrise, the shadow is always towards the west. Okay, so if there is a person who is facing north, which is his left hand side, this is his left hand and this is his right hand. See, assume you are the person who is standing there facing north, which will be your left hand, this has to be your left hand and this has to be your right hand. So during sunrise, if a person is facing the north, the shadow will always fall towards his left side. Okay, the shadow will fall towards his left side. So in this figure it is clear, correct? See, he is facing north, the shadow is falling towards his left, because this is his left side and this is his right side. Similarly, during sunrise, if there is a person, again sun is towards the east, if there is a person who is facing the south, okay, where will the shadow actually be? Shadow is always towards the west, that is in this direction. Now if this person is facing south, which is his left hand side, this is his left hand side and this is his right hand side. So during sunrise, if a person is facing south, the shadow will fall towards his right side, correct? This is his right hand side, so the shadow is towards his right side when the person is facing south. This is the case when the person is facing north. Same way you can do the same for sunset. So what will be the case for sunset? See, if it is sunset, the sun is towards the west, and if there is a person who is facing the north during sunset, see, the shadow will be in this side. So if a person is facing north, this is his left, this is his right. So right hand side of his will be the shadow. So the shadow will be to the right when the person is facing north. Similarly, if it is sunset and the person is facing south, again during sunset the sun is towards the west, person is facing south, okay, he is facing in this direction. Where will the shadow be? The shadow has to be towards the east, because sun is towards the west, shadow has to be towards the east. So when a person is facing south, which is his left, this is going to be his left and this is going to be his right. So in which direction will the shadow be? The shadow will be to the left of the person. That's all. So this is the basic concept of shadow. See, you needn't by heart this. If you understand it itself, you can directly use it in problems and solve. Because if you by heart this, right, let's say when a person is facing, especially north-south, if you by heart it, you might get confused during the examination. But if you remember the logic as to how it is done, it will be very easy for you to do it in the examination. Only thing you have to keep in mind is that the shadow always falls to the opposite side of the sun's position. Okay, yeah. Next, so these are the basic concepts that you need to know from the topic directions. Now let's directly start solving questions from this topic. So the first question for today's session is there on your screen. A child is looking for his father. He went 90 meters in the east before turning to his right. He went 20 meters before turning to his right again and to look for his father at his uncle's place 30 meters from this point. His father was not there. From there, he went 100 meters to his north before meeting his father in a street. How far did the son meet his father from the starting point? Whenever you have questions on directions, the first thing that you do is to draw a directions diagram. Just in case, see, if you are thorough with it and you are by heart, no need, but always better to draw so that you don't make any mistakes while solving. So try this one and give me the answer. A child is looking for his father. He went 90 meters in the east. So towards east he is going 90 meters. If this is his starting point, he is going 90 meters in the east before he is turning to his right. So he is turning to his right means the person is now facing in the east direction. So this is going to be his left and this is going to be his right. So he is turning towards his right. Correct? He is turning towards his right. And then he is going 20 meters in this direction, and again he turns to his right. So again turns to his right means again the person is facing south means this has to be his right and this has to be his left. Okay, so see, whenever you are in some particular direction, you have to turn right or left. Assume that you are the person standing there facing that direction. Then it will be easier for you to say which is right and which is left, because whatever is your right will be the right in the question. Whatever is your left will be the left as per the question. So assume that you are the one who is facing south and turning right. Do it that way so that you will not make a mistake. Now here the person is turning right, and what is he doing? He is going 30 meters. So he is doing 30 meters in this direction. And then what he does? He went 100 meters to the north. So he is again from here, he is going 100 meters towards north. And he is meeting his father at this point. How far did the son meet his father from the starting point? So what are they asking? See, this is the starting point, this is the finishing point. So they are asking us what is this distance. You know this full distance is 100 meters. Now you know this is 20, correct? This length is 20. So what should this length be? It has to be 100 minus 20 or 80 meters. Similarly, this full length you know is 90 and this is 30. So what should this length be? This should be 90 minus 30, or that is equal to 60. So this is now a right angle triangle with two sides as 80 and 60. So using Pythagoras theorem, you can say the hypotenuse is nothing but root of 80 squared plus 60 squared, that is equal to 6400 plus 3600, or I can say it is nothing but root of 10,000, or that is equal to 100. So this length that we are looking for is 100 meters, that is option C. Next, from his house, Lokesh went 15 kilometers to the north. Then he turned west and covered 10 kilometers. Then he turned south and covered 5 kilometers. Finally, he is turning to east. He covered 10 kilometers. In which direction is he from his house? So give me the answer for this one. From his house, Lokesh is going 15 kilometers to the north. Then he is turning west and he is going 10 kilometers. Then he is turning south and he is going 5 kilometers. Finally, he is turning towards east and he is covering again 10 kilometer. 10 kilometer means the same distance, correct? He is reaching here again. Now, in which direction is he from his house? So, he is reaching at this point. This was his starting point. This is his finishing point. In which direction is he from his house? So, when you look from his house, in which direction is he standing? He is towards the north, correct? Question is, in which direction is he from his house? So, with respect to his house, he is in the north direction. The correct answer that we are looking for is B, north. I hope it is clear. See, Santosh is going 15 kilometers north, then he is turning west, going 10 kilometers, south 5 kilometers, then turning to east and again going 10 kilometers. So this is also 10, this is also 10. So finally he is coming back here only. So with respect to his house, this was his house, correct? With respect to his house, this point is towards the north. It is in which direction? This direction. Which direction does this arrow point to? North. So the correct answer is option B. Next. A vehicle starts from point P and runs 10 kilometers towards the north. It takes a right turn and runs 15 kilometers. It now runs 6 kilometers after taking a left turn. It finally takes a left turn and runs 15 kilometers and stops at a point Q. So you have to find out how far is the point Q with respect to the point P, and next one more question following it. What is the answer for this one? Try to give me the answer for this one. So what is the person doing? The vehicle starts from north, south, east and west. The vehicle starts from point P and runs 10 kilometers towards the north. So if this is point P, the vehicle is going 10 kilometers towards the north. It takes a right turn and runs 15 kilometers. So right turn means it is going in this direction and is taking 15 kilometers. Now it runs for 6 kilometers after taking a left turn. So at this point the vehicle is taking a left turn and it is moving 6 kilometers. Finally it is taking a left turn and runs again 15 kilometers. So it is again coming back to the here at point Q. So this is both these are in the same line, because why? 15 kilometers this side, 6 kilometers upwards and then 15 kilometers on this side. So both points P and Q are in the same line. The first question is, how far is Q with respect to P? See, you know this distance is 10 kilometers and this distance you already know is 6 kilometers. So distance between P and Q will be 10 plus 6, that is 16 kilometers. Next one. Towards which direction was the vehicle moving before it stopped at point Q? So before it stopped at point Q, which direction was the vehicle moving? See, here and all the vehicle was moving in this direction, correct? This direction is what? West. So the correct answer for the next question is option D, west. Yes, so all of you are giving me the correct answer for this. Good. Next one. So this question is a very typical question that comes from shadows. Okay. So try this question. I have not given options here because we'll find out the answer. So the answer either has to be north, south, east or west. So try out this one. This is using the concept of shadows that we learnt. One morning after sunrise, Juhi, while going to school, met Lali at a road crossing. Lali's shadow was exactly to the right of Juhi. If they were face to face, which of the direction was Juhi facing? See, in this question itself you have a clue, correct? Now what did we learn? See, first what are they saying? They are saying that the two people are facing each other. So either one is facing north and one is facing south, or the next possibility is one is facing west and the other is facing east. So these are the two possibilities that we have, and we always, when we know for sure that during sunrise the shadow will always be towards the west. Now if Juhi and Lali, they are facing east-west, okay, where will the shadow be? The shadow will be behind them, behind one of the person, correct, or in front of one of the person. That's how it should be. Now what are they giving in the question? They are saying that Lali's shadow was exactly to the right of Juhi. So to the right of Juhi means it either has to be north or south, right? Right of Juhi means this or this direction has to be the shadow. That's what they're trying to say, correct? So shadow is always towards the west. So basically I can say that both of them are facing north, south. Now with the given information I can say Lali and Julie, both of them are facing the north-south direction. They are definitely not facing the east-west direction, because if they were facing the east-west direction, the shadow would be behind one person or in front of one person. That's how the statement should have been. Now since they are saying that the shadow is towards the right, or if they say that the shadow is towards the left, all that means that the two people are facing north-south direction. Now so this is one person, this is the other person. See, you know shadow is always towards the west. So north, south, east and west. During sunrise, sun is towards the east here and the shadow is towards the west. That much we know for sure. Now whoever is the person standing here, this is which is his right hand side and which is that person's left hand side. So the person standing here, this is going to be their left and this is going to be their right. Similarly, the person standing facing the north, this is going to be their left and this is going to be their right. So now first let's fix that. Then see, both the person's shadow, okay, this person's shadow is also in this direction, this person's shadow is also in this direction. Both the shadows are going to be in the same direction. So what are they saying? Lalli's shadow was exactly to the right of Juhi. First let us assume that this is going to be Lalli and this is Juhi. So in which direction is Lalli's shadow now with respect to Juhi? See, if you look at Juhi's and Lalli's shadow are towards the left of Juhi. But what are they saying? Lalli's shadow was to the exactly to the right of Juhi. So this cannot be the position of Lalli and Juhi. So let's interchange. If this is Juhi and this is Lalli, what happens? See, Lalli's shadow is in this direction and this direction is what? It is nothing but the right of Juhi. So we can say that Lalli's shadow is to the right of Juhi is satisfied when I put Juhi on top and Lalli at the bottom. The question is, which direction is Juhi facing? So which direction is Juhi facing now? Juhi is facing downwards or Juhi is facing south. So the answer that we are looking for is south. Is it clear? Lalli's shadow was exactly to the right of Juhi. So Lalli's shadow is towards the west. It has to be the right of Juhi, means Juhi has to be on top and Lalli has to be on north. The question is, where is Juhi facing? Juhi is facing downwards or she is facing the south. If the question was where is Lalli facing, then I can say north. Okay? Yeah. Correct answer is south. Next one. Pooja starts at point T, walks straight to point U, which is 4 feet away. She turns left at 90 degree and walks to W, which is 4 feet away, turns 90 degree right and goes 3 feet to P, turns 90 degree right and walks 1 feet to Q, turns left at 90 degree and goes to V, which is 1 feet away, and once again turns 90 degree right and goes to R, 3 feet away. What is the distance between T and R? So how do you approach this question? See, one thing that you can note in this question is that they are not mentioning any direction from which Pooja is starting. If they had mentioned that Pooja is facing the west, now she is going straight and taking 4 feet, going to a point U, something like that is given, then you can directly start with the diagram. No, if you know which direction Pooja is facing. But here, note that they have not given the direction. Pooja can face the north, Pooja can face east, west, whatever. So, but whatever way you draw, what are they finally asking you? They are just asking you the distance between T and R. So in whichever direction you represent, the final answer is going to be the same. See, even if you consider that Pooja is facing north and then you draw the diagram, or if you consider that Pooja is facing east and then you draw the diagram, finally the answer will be the same. So here Pooja is here, she is starting from a point T and she walks straight to point U 4 feet away. So I am just going to consider U is on this side, okay. If this is U, U is 4 feet away. From here she turns left at 90 degree and walks to W. This W is again 4 feet away. W point is 4 feet away. And then turns 90 degree right and goes 3 feet to a point P. Again turns 90 degree right. 90 degree right means this side, 1 feet to Q. So this is 1 feet and this is Q. Here what does she do? She turns left 90 degree and goes to V, which is 1 feet away. So she is going to V here. And once again turns right and goes to R, 3 feet away. So R is here. So basically this distance is also 4. So this R and U and T, all of them are going to be in the same line. The question is what? What is the distance between T and R? So the distance between T and R, if you see, is 4 plus 3 plus 1. That is 4 plus 3 plus 1, or 8 is the distance between T and R. So the answer that we are looking for is option D, 8 feet. Next one. Town D is 12 kilometers towards the north of town A. Town C is 15 kilometers towards the west of town D. Town B is 15 kilometers towards the west of town A. How far and in which direction is town B with respect to town B from town C? Let's solve. Town D is 12 meters towards the north of town A. So if this is town A, town D is here. Then next, what are they saying? Town C is 15 kilometers towards the west of town D. So this has to be town C. town B is 15 kilometers towards the west of town A. So this has to be B. So these two have to be in the same line. How far and in which direction is town B from town C? So here this is A to D, they have already given 12, right? So this also has to be 12. So the distance between B and C is 12. Now next one, how far and in which direction is town B from town C? So with respect to town C, in which direction is in town B? When you look from C, B is in this direction, or B is towards the south. So the answer that we are looking for is 12 kilometers towards the south. B is in the south direction with respect to C. So option D. Next one. At dusk, Rohit started walking facing the sun. After a while, he met his friend and both of them turned to their left. They halted for a while and started moving by turning again to their right. Finally, Rohit waved goodbye to his friend and took a left turn at the corner. At which direction is Rohit moving now? At dusk, Rohit started walking facing the sun. So dusk means evening. So Rohit is walking facing the sun means he is walking towards the west. He is walking towards the west direction. This is starting point. He is going in this way. And then after a while, he met his friend and both of them turned to their left. So to their left means they are turning towards this direction. They halted for a while and started moving by again turning to their right. So at this point they are turning to their right means they are turning towards their right, going in this direction. Finally, Rohit waved goodbye to his friend and took a left turn at the corner. So he is taking a left turn means he is moving in this direction now. At which direction is Rohit moving now? So he is moving in this direction, that is the south. He is facing south and going. So the correct answer here is option A, south. A starts and walks towards south. He then turns to his right and walks 5 kilometers. Then again turns left and walks 3 kilometers. And then again turn left and walks 5 kilometers. In which direction is he from his starting point? So here what have they given? A is walking towards the south. Then he turns to his right and he walks 5 kilometers. And then again he turns left and walks 3 kilometers. And then again left and walks another 5 kilometers. So he is basically coming into the same line that he started. In which direction is he from his starting point? So this is his starting point and this is his finishing point. So with respect to his starting point, in which direction is he? He is in the south direction. So the correct answer here is option B, south. Next. So this question has a bit of angles involved. Generally in the previous questions we saw everything turning right, left, everything was with respect to 90 degrees. Here you have 45 degree, 180 degree. So try solving this one. A man is facing north. He turns 45 degrees in clockwise direction and then another 180 degree in the same direction and then 45 degrees in the anti-clockwise direction. Find which direction is he facing now. See, whenever you have questions involving this clockwise direction, anti-clockwise direction, just keep this in mind. See, if there is a person who is facing in this direction, okay, this is his left hand side and this is his right hand side. Now, if the person is moving towards the clockwise direction, he always has to move towards his right. That's generally clockwise, okay. And if he is moving towards anti-clockwise direction means he has to move in this direction. So just keep that in mind when you solve the question. That's all. Person is facing north. Clockwise means towards the right. Anti-clockwise means towards the left. Same is the case for any direction. Okay, right hand, if you go towards the right of that person, that is clockwise. If you go towards left, that is anti-clockwise. So for this question, what do we do? See, there is a man who is facing the north. Then he is turning 45 degrees in the clockwise direction. 45 degrees in the clockwise direction means he is turning towards his right. Clockwise is right. And he is turning by how many degrees? 45 degrees. Now he is facing in this direction. And then what does he do? He turns another 180 degrees in the same direction. 180 degree means this is 90 degree, correct? Clockwise direction means same direction, same right side. So this is 90 degree followed by another 90 degree will be a straight line like this. So this is 180 degree and he is going in which direction? Clockwise direction. So this is the direction that he is facing now. So this was his first point, second point. Now he is facing here, which is his third point. Then what are they given? And then 45 degree in the anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction means what? Towards the left, correct? Anti-clockwise is this direction. So in this direction he is moving 45 degree in this direction. So like this, right? Anti-clockwise. So the question is now, in which direction is he facing now? So in which direction is he facing now? South is option D. So he is facing south. So the answer that we are looking for is south. That is option D. Yes. Next one. Ram walks 3 kilometers towards the east, and yeah, okay, let's draw it. Ram walks 3 kilometers towards the east, takes a left turn and walks for 1 kilometer, and before he takes a left and walks for 2 kilometer, and takes another left and walks for 1 kilometer. So what has Ram done? First he is starting from a point going towards east for 3 kilometers, then he takes 1 kilometer, 2 and back 1 kilometer, means he is coming in the same line that he started from. Now what is the question? How many kilometers away is he from a starting point? So this is his starting point and this is his finishing point. So this distance you know is 2 kilometers. So what is this distance has to be? See, this full distance is 3, correct? This full distance is 3, that we already know. So this is 2, means this has to be 1. So his distance from the starting point is 1 kilometer, that is option A. Very easy question, right? Everybody got one. Good. Now next one, try this one, this is a good one. So let's try to draw the directions diagram for this question. North, south, east, west, that we have. This is north. James starts walking from point A in the direction of north and walks for 4 meters. So he is at a point A, and from A he is going 4 meters towards the north, and then he takes a right and goes for 6 meters. So see, these are not up to scale. Please ignore that, because there won't be space if we draw the lines up to scale. Okay, so this is 4, this is 6, and then he takes a right turn. So he takes a right means and walks for 6 kilometers. Then he takes a left, walks for 3 kilometers. Then he again takes a right, walks for 6 kilometers to reach a point B. So this is B. Till this it is correct. Next, he walks in the direction of south of point B. After walking for 3 meters in this direction, he takes a left turn and walks for another 3 meters. So he takes a left turn, walks for another 3 meters. Then he takes a right turn and walks for 2 meters. He is taking a right turn and walking for 2 meters. He again takes another right turn and walks 6 meters. So again right turn means from this point right turn is here, correct? He is walking another 6 meters, and finally he takes a left turn and walks another 2 meters. So he is taking a left turn at this point and walking another 2 meters to reach a point C. So what is given here? See, after reaching point B, he is walking 3 meters in that direction, okay, and then he takes a left turn, walks for another 3 meters, then he takes a right turn, walks for 2 meters, he again takes a right turn and walks for 6 meters, and he finally takes a left turn and walks for 2 meters to reach point C. So if you look from this point, no, what is the total distance? This total distance is 7, correct? This 4 plus 3. Here if you look at this total distance, what is it? It is 3 plus 2 plus 2. So 3 plus 2 plus 2 is also 7, correct? 3, 2, 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. So basically he is coming to this same point. Okay, so he is coming to the same point, that is C, and so the answer will be now in which direction is point C with respect to point B? So point C with respect to point B will be in which direction? See, this is point B, point C is here. Now this is 6, you have 3, here you have 6, okay. So it is in this direction. So what direction is that? That is south west. So I can say that point C is in the southwest direction with respect to point B. The correct answer is option C. Next question. In which direction is point A with respect to point C? So with respect to point C, that is when you look from point C, in which direction is point A? Point A is in the west direction, correct? It is in this. So it is in the west direction with respect to point C. Yes? Okay. So the correct answer here will be southwest and west. Let us look at the next question. So what is this question? Point A is 8 meters to the north of point B. So if you have point A is 8 meters Point A is 8 meters to the north of point B. Point B is 10 meters to the west of point C. So point B is 10 meters to the west of point C. Point C is 11 meters to the north of point D. So point C is 11 meters to the north of point D. Point F is 4 meters to the north of point E, which is 6 meters to the west of point D. So E is 6 meters to the west of point D, and point F is 4 meters to the north of point E. So this is the directions diagram that we have. Now what is the question? A person starts from point F, then so person starts from point F means he is in this direction, correct? He is here. He takes a left and reaches a point G, and then a right turn to reach the point B. Find FG plus BC. So what are they saying? There is now the person is starting from this point F. Okay, so we are assuming that the person is standing here facing this direction, and what are they saying? He is taking a left and he is reaching a point G. He reaches some point G where he is turning right from this point, and he is reaching the point B. So this has to be point G, correct? Because he is standing at F, taking a left and then takes a right means he is reaching B. So that means G has to be here. So he is going like this and then turning right and going like this and reaching B. Now the question is find FG plus BC. So what is BC? See, you know BC is already 10 and here you know ED is 6. So basically this full length, correct? This has to be 10, out of which you know this length is 6. So how much should this length be, or FG be? FG has to be 4. So what is FG plus BC means? You know BC is 10 and FG is 4. So the answer that we are looking for is 14 meters. 14 meters or kilometers? I think question is in terms of meters, here in terms of kilometers. That would be a typo error. Okay, generally everything has to be in the same units. So 14 meters. So the correct answer is option D. Next one. Point T is 5 meters to the north of point C. Find AT. So point T, here it is 5 meters to the north of point C. We have to find out what is AT, that is this hypotenuse. Now if you look at this right angle triangle, this you know is 10. And here this full length is 8 and till here it is 5. So what is this length? It is 8 minus 5, that is equal to 3. So what is the length AT that you are looking for? AT is equal to root of 10 squared plus 3 squared, that is equal to root of 109, or that is equal to 10 point something, right? 10.4. If you actually do it, it is 10.44, but you know it is between 10 and 11, correct? So you can approximate and take it as 10.5. Now look at the options that is given to you. The options are 29 meters. No, that cannot be the answer for sure. Similarly 29 root 2. No. Again look at this one, 2 root 29. Again what will be root of 29? 2 root 29 means see, or you can just check, no, any of these, does that come to root of 109? That also you can do. 5 root 26. So here it will be like 5 into 5, that is, it is approximate to 5 into 5, 25. So this is also not correct. Now we are left with 2 root 29. So that is actually nothing but root of 29 into 4, correct? So that is equal to, you get root of 116. Correct. So if you see, there is no perfect option that gives you the value of 80. It is actually root of 109. So it will be something like 10.44. Here root of 109, here it is root of 116. I am just taking everything inside the root to see what the value is. So none of the options seems to match. So the correct answer here will be none of these. Okay. Because you need to find out root of 109, which is not there in the options. I think the best thing to do will be to take none of these. If it is not there, yes, I agree, option B has to be your right answer. Okay? Yes, let's look at the next question. It is the closest one. This is the closest option among all the other options. Okay, you might not have such confusion questions that come in the examination. So one thing that we can do is we can omit this, assume that none of these is not there and take B to be your answer. Next one. Kumar put his watch on the table in such a way that at 6 p.m. our hand points to north. In which direction the minute hand will point at 9:15 p.m.? So what is given? Kumar is putting his watch on a table in such a way that at 6 p.m. the hour hand is pointing north. So north, south, east and west, correct? Our hands points north means at 6 p.m. our hand will be facing the number 6, correct? So our hand is pointing north means this has to be 6. So his watch has to be like this. So if this is 6, then where will be the minute hand be? Minute hand will be in this direction, that is facing 12. So next, what are they saying? So which has to be 9? This has to be 9 and this has to be 3. So when you look at the time 9:15, if the watch is like this, in the same way, at 9:15, where will the hour hand be? The hour hand has to be here. Our hand has to be facing this direction, that is 9. And where will the minute hand be? Minute hand will be facing 3, that is this direction. Now the question is, in which direction will the minute hand point at 9:15? So at 9:15, minute hand is going to face this direction, that is west. So the answer that we are looking for is option D, west. Okay, next one. Sheetal started from a point in the south direction. After walking for 5 kilometers, she took a right turn. Now she walked another 5 kilometers and took a left turn. Then after walking for 2 kilometers, she took a right turn. After covering 2 more kilometers, she turned 45 degrees in the clockwise direction. She is facing which direction now? So what's given here? Sheetal started from a point in the south direction. So yeah, she is facing south and going towards south, and she is walking for 5 kilometers, and then what did she do? She took a right turn. So she took a right turn means she is turning in this direction and walking for another 5 kilometers, and then she is taking a left turn and she is walking for 2 kilometers, and then again she takes a right turn, and after covering for 2 more kilometers, okay, she is again covering another 2 kilometers here. Now at this point, what is she doing? Now she is facing in this direction. Now she is facing in this direction. And what is she doing? She turned 45 degrees clockwise. So she is facing this direction. She is turning 45 degrees clockwise means she has to move in. So clockwise means towards her right. She is moving in this direction. 45 degrees means she is facing somewhere here. So what is the direction that she is facing now? This is the direction that she is facing. So if you look at the directions diagram, what direction is this? North, west. So the answer that we are looking for is option D, northwest. Yes. Okay. So let's look at the next question. I think with this we are coming to an end of the questions on the topic directions. So next we are moving to blood relations. Now coming to blood relations, generally the type of questions that come from blood relations are like this. Either you have some statements that is given, like a person is looking at a photograph and mentioning something about the relation of that person with the person in the photograph. So questions of this sort where some statements are given, okay, about the relation, and you are asked to find the relationship between the given people. That is the first type. Then you have coded relations where they say that A plus B means A is the father of B, or A minus B means A is the son of B, and then they give you A plus B minus C plus D. Now what is the relationship between A and D? So that is called coded relation questions. So you are given some code for each relation and you are asked to find the relationship between people. So that is the second type of questions that come. Then where you have symbols or equation, there is symbols involved to find out the relationship. Then you have some paragraph type of questions where a relationship between a group of people is given and you are asked to you are asked questions based on these relations. These are the general types of questions that come from blood relations. Now, so the first one is relation based on given statements, the second one is relations based on symbols, and the third one is again there is some complex statement that is given. Based on the statement you will have to give the answer for the question. Now the most important thing when it comes to blood relation is that you should be able to draw a family tree whenever a question is given. If you represent the given question in terms of a family tree, solving the question becomes very, very easy. Again, when you represent a family tree, there are some things that you have to keep in mind. You have to always follow a standardized method throughout the problem to solve the question. First thing is that, see, whatever representation that you are using in the question, use it throughout the problem. For example, if you are using a plus symbol to represent a male member in the given question, use plus for male throughout the question. Similarly, if you are using the minus symbol for a female in the question, use the minus symbol throughout. Again, if this plus minus is confusing for you, I generally sometimes what I do is I put G for girl, B for boy, or I put M for male, F for female. Whatever is the notation that you use, if you are using M for male in a question, throughout the question use M for male. Similarly, if you are using F for female, throughout the question use F for the female. So these things you have to keep in mind and follow the standard pattern, otherwise you might go wrong. Like if the question is like lot of relations involved, at the end of the, like once you finish the arrangement or once you finish the family tree, you will not know who is the boy, who is the girl, right? Such confusions can come. So always use a standardized method, okay? Whatever notation you are using in a question, use the same notation throughout. First thing to keep in mind. Then you should know about the relations, okay? So like let us discuss a few relations before we start. See, mothers or fathers, parents are, who are they? They are called our grandparents. So mothers or fathers, parents are our grandparent, like grandmother or grandfather. Then mothers or fathers brother. Mothers or fathers brother is our uncle. Similarly, mothers or fathers sister. Our mothers or our fathers sister is our aunt. Then who are siblings? Siblings are children of the same parents, right? Like brother, sister, they are siblings, same mother and father. So they are called as siblings. Then like your uncle or your aunt's child, who is that to you? Let us say they are your cousins, okay? Be it your any uncle, okay? That is uncle from your mother's side or uncle from your father's side. Whoever it is, uncle's children are your cousins. Uncle or aunt's children are your cousins. Then who is your sister's husband? Sister's husband is generally called as brother-in-law. Similarly, brother's wife is, your brother's wife is your sister-in-law. See, many times to remember these relationship, best thing is assume that you are one of the persons in that group, okay? So think that my brother's wife, who will that be? My brother's wife will be my sister-in-law. Similarly, my sister's husband is my brother-in-law. So for some relations, if you that is, consider you as one of the person to find that out, that will also help at times. Then next thing you need to know, daughter's husband is son-in-law. Similarly, son's wife is called as daughter-in-law. And next important thing you need to know is who is niece and who is nephew. So if you have a brother or a sister, their children, right, they are what we generally take as niece and nephew. So if your brother or sister has a son, he is your nephew. Similarly, if your brother or sister has a daughter, she is your niece. Okay, so niece and nephew, what it is, you should be very clear. So brothers or sisters or your siblings, son is your nephew and your siblings' daughter is your niece. So these are some of the important terms that you need to know. Again, any relative from your father's side is called as paternal and any relative from your mother's side is called as maternal. In few questions they mention maternal uncle. So you should know that it is your uncle from your mother's side or it is your mother's brother. Or if they don't generally mention anything in the question, directly we take it as paternal. If nothing is mentioned in the question, you can assume it to be paternal. But if it is mentioned specifically, either mother's brother or something like that, or they mention the word maternal, then you know it is your relative from the mother's side. So now let us see how to, now these relations you keep in mind. Then as I said, you always have to draw a family tree whenever you solve questions from this topic. And now let us see how to represent information given in terms of family tree. So first thing, as I said, remember these relationships in your mind that you should know. Then use a standardized notation. See, if you see your video lessons, generally we would have used for male positive and female negative. Okay, I leave it to you to decide whether to use this notation. If you are comfortable with like M, for male and F for female, or B for male and G for girl, whatever. Whichever notation you are using, stick to that. That's all is required. Okay. Then now if the, like in the question they are saying that A is the brother of B. How do you represent that? If I say A is the brother of B, so I know that A and B are belonging to the same generation. People in the same generation generally are represented using in the same line, in the same horizontal line like this. People in the same generation. People in different generations are represented, in between them there will be vertical lines. Okay. Now generally you have 3 generations in when it comes to questions: the first generation, the second generation and the third generation. Now many of us get confusion as to which is the first generation, which is the second generation, which is the third generation. Always the topmost generation is the first generation. That is the generation of the grandparents. Then you have parents, uncles, aunt, all of them belong to the second generation. Parent, uncle, aunt. Third generation will be children, or the children of these people, or grandchildren of the grandparents, right? They are all coming in the third generation. Now if you have a fourth generation, that will be the great grandchildren of this first generation. So this is the major generations that you will have in questions. So here if you look at A and B, A is the brother of B. That means that A and B are belonging to the same generation. A is the brother means that A is a male. So you can, if you are using plus minus like how we do it in our video lessons, put a plus there. Correct? A is the brother of B and you can put this symbol, arrow here. Similarly, if I say that A is the sister of B, how do you represent A is the sister of B? Means you can say again A, B, A is the sister means put a negative sign here, female. Now B's gender we don't know, leave it there. Then similarly you have A is the wife of B. If you have husband and wife, means how will you do? See, either you can do notation like this, double side arrow, just to denote that they are husband and wife. The other way to do it would be use double arrow like this. Whenever you see a double line, right, you know that they are husband and wife. And whenever you are seeing a single line, you know that they are brother sister. See, these are different, again as I said, different notations that you can follow. Either do it like this or just put a dash. For brother sister, just put a dash. For husband wife, put a double dash. So A is the wife of B means this is a female and this person is a male. So these are the different ways in which you notate. Similarly, if you have father and son, like people belonging to different generation, for that you will use a vertical line. See, for people belonging to the same generation, we always use horizontal line. That has to be standard thing that you have to follow, whichever notation you are using. People belonging to same generation, horizontal line. People belonging to different generation should be connected by a vertical line. If I say A is the son of B, so B is in the top upper generation, A is in the below generation and B is the son of A. So you put like this. Okay, so these are a few things that you have to keep in mind while you represent the family tree. Now let's start solving questions from this blood relations now. These are the basics that you need to know. So the first question is there on your screen. Pointing to a photograph, Bajpai said, "He is the son of the only daughter of the father of my brother." How is Bajpai related to the man in the photograph? So here in this question, what is Bajpai saying? He is the son of the only daughter of the father of my brother. Father of my brother means, my is who here? Bajpai. So father of Bajpai's brother. So Bajpai has a father, okay, and Bajpai also has a brother. Father of my brother means Bajpai and his brother, they have the same father, correct? So he is the son of the only daughter of the father of my brother. Father of my brother is my father, correct? Father of my brother or father of my brother or father of Bajpai's brother is also Bajpai's father. So this person in the picture is the son of the only daughter of the father. So this father has only one daughter, okay, and the person in the picture is the son of this daughter, okay. So the person in the picture is the son of this daughter. Now the question is, how is Bajpai related to the man in the photograph? So Bajpai and his brother, both of them are male. So either use a plus, and here father is also plus, male, daughter is female, son is male. Now how is Bajpai related to the man in the photograph? See, Bajpai is, see, these three are siblings. Bajpai, one brother and one daughter. These three are siblings. So this son, how is he related to Bajpai? He is Bajpai's sister's child, or Bajpai is this child's maternal uncle, that is the uncle from the mother's side. So the correct answer here is option D, uncle from the mother's side or maternal uncle. Next one. Pointing out a man receiving the prize, Malaika said, "He is the brother of my uncle's daughter." Who is the man to Malaika? He is the brother of my uncle's daughter. So Malaika has an uncle. Again here, if you see here, they have not mentioned paternal uncle, that is Malaika's uncle from the mother's side or the father's side. Like I said, whenever such information is not given, generally consider it to be from the father's side. So I can say Malaika has a father. This person is Malaika's uncle. Okay, he is the brother of my uncle's daughter. So let me write this as uncle itself so that it's clear. So Malaika has a father who has a brother who is her uncle. Okay, Malaika's uncle, and he is the brother of my uncle's daughter. So Malaika's uncle has a daughter and this girl has a brother. So now how is this person related to Malaika? He has to be her cousin. Correct? See, basically there are two brothers. One brother's child is Malaika and the other brother's child is these two people. So they are cousins. So the correct answer that we are looking for is cousin. Option D. Yes. Next one. Pointing to a photograph, Shubha said, "He is the only grandson of my mother's father." So Shubha says, he is the only grandson of my mother's. So Shubha has a mother who has a father, that is Shubha's grandfather, correct? So he is the only grandson of my mother's father. So this person has one grandson. Now how is the man in the photograph related to Shubha? So the man in the photograph is this grandson. Now what I don't know is whether Shubha's grandfather, correct? This is Shubha's grandfather. Now this grandfather has one daughter who is Shubha's mother. So this grandson can either be Shubha's mother's other child. In that case they will be brothers. Also this grandfather can have one more child, right? Either a boy or a girl, and this grandson can be their children also. So you have more than one possibility here, correct? He is the only grandson of my mother's father. See, if the question was he is the only grandson of my mother's father, or if they had mentioned in the statement that Shubha's mother is the only child, then I can say that for sure this person is Shubha's brother directly. Now I don't know for sure if Shubha's father has one more child. He can have one more child, right? He can have one more child, and this grandson would be can be a child of that person. So in that case, these two will be cousins. They can be cousins, correct? They can be cousins also. Either they will be brother, sister, brother, that is Shubha's brother, or cousin. It is cousin, can be cousin also, right? So it can be cousin or brother. So I will say it is cannot be determined. That's the option that we can go to, because either it can be Shubha's brother or it can be Shubha's cousin. Yeah, so you should go with cousin, brother, both seem to be correct. So it is actually cannot be determined from the given information. Next one. A is the brother of B. B is the sister of T. T is the mother of P. If it is provided that R is the grandfather of P, how would T be related to R? A is the brother of B. So A and B are siblings and A is the brother. Okay, since we do plus minus in the video lessons, let me use that itself so that you guys are not confused. A is the brother of B. B is the sister of T. So there is T. B is the sister of T. So all these three are siblings. T is the mother of P. So T is the mother of, again, so T is a female, mother of P. It is provided that R is the grandfather of P. So R is the grandfather of P. how would T be related to R? So R is the grandfather of P means here if you see either R can be the parent of T, correct? In that case R is the maternal grandfather, correct? Grandfather means plus. So either R is the father of T. In that case I can say R is the maternal grandfather of P. And the question is, how is T related to R? In this case I can say that T is the daughter of R. Now there is one more possibility. R can be the grandparent from the father's side, okay, for P. See, R needn't be the grandparent for P from the mother's side itself. See, the other possibility is you have A, B, T, and you know T's child is P. Now T is married to some person. This person's father can be R. This is also a possibility, correct? So you cannot directly say that T is the daughter of R. T can also be the daughter-in-law of R. Okay, T can also be the daughter-in-law. So here since if you look at the options also, there is an option which says either daughter or daughter-in-law. So we should take E as the answer. That is either daughter or daughter-in-law. Two possibilities are there. Okay. So the correct answer here will be option E. Either daughter or daughter-in-law. See, if let us say this option itself was not given, option E itself was not given, you could say it has to be daughter from the given information. Similarly, if they had given daughter-in-law here, then and option E was not there, again you will take that it is daughter-in-law because from the given options A, B, C, D, it has to be daughter-in-law. And generally when no information is given, we take the grandparent also to be from the paternal side and we take option A. But here option E, very clearly they have given either daughter or daughter-in-law. So that is the true option. Right? It cannot be daughter alone, it can be daughter-in-law also. So you don't take A as the answer, it has to be E. Let's move on to the next one. So this is the one which involves symbols. Now here what have they given? A into B means A is the son of B, A plus B means A is the father of B, A greater than B means A is the daughter of B, and A less than B means A is the wife of B. Which one of the following pairs of letters represent first cousins with regard to the relation given in the expressions if it is provided that A is the sister of J? So whenever you have questions involving these symbols, try to represent the family tree using these symbols. Okay, see what is given here, they have given L greater than V. What does that mean? L is the daughter of V. So you have a person V whose daughter is L. Okay, so L is the daughter of, yes, so I think I'll use plus G and B so that I don't go wrong. So if you are using plus and minus, please go ahead using that. Okay, so L is the daughter of a girl. Okay, this is going to be a girl. I'm going to use G and B for this question. Then you have V is less than J, means V is the wife of J. So V and J are married and V is the wife means this also has to be a girl and so J has to be a boy. Then J plus P. So J plus P means what? J is the father of P. So J is the father of P means these two people have one more child, that is P. Now next what have they given? A is the sister of J, that they have already given in the question. So I can say A and J are siblings. A is the sister of J means this is a girl. Then next they are saying S cross A. S cross A means S is the son of A. So S is the son of A. Then son means boy, so I put B. A less than D. A less than D means that A is the wife of D. So again this is a boy. Then A is the wife of D. D plus F. D plus F means D is the father of F. So basically A and D have two children. One is F and one is D and A have two children. One is F and one is S. Next one, F less than E means that F is the wife of E. So F is the wife of E means this is a girl and again this is a male person, so boy. Now E plus K means that E is the father of K. Okay, so there is a person K here. So this is the relationship diagram that you get. Now the question is, which one of the following pairs of people represent first cousins? So first cousins means children of siblings. So who are the children of siblings here? If you look at LP, see LP are children of the same parent. So they are actually siblings, they are not cousins. SP, see SP are children of the siblings. So that is what we are looking at. So the correct answer here is option B, SP. If you see SK, they belong to different generation. Similarly, SF are children of the same parent. So the correct answer is option B, SP. Next, in a family, there are 6 members, P, Q, R, X, Y and Z. R is the sister of Z. X is the father of P and grandfather of Z. Q is the brother of Y's husband. There are 3 brothers, 1 mother and 2 fathers. So based on this information, there are a few questions that follow. So let us try to represent the family tree for this given information. What is given here? In a family of 6 members, R is the sister of Z. So R is the sister of Z. So R is a female. Then X is the father of P and grandfather of Z. So R is the sister of Z means these two have the same parent. Okay, so these people belong to the 3rd generation. Then there is one 2nd generation and one 1st generation. And X is the father of P and the grandfather of Z. So X is in this generation, correct? X is the grandfather, father of P and grandfather of Z means definitely this is a male member and he is belonging to the 1st generation. So this P is the person who is in the 2nd generation because X is the father of P. Then Q is the brother of Y's husband. So how will that be? See, Q is the brother of Y's husband. So there are 3 and then next statement they have given us there are 3 brothers, 1 mother and 2 fathers. So how can we place them? X is the father of P and grandfather of Z. Q is the brother of Y's husband. So if you have Y here, if P and Y are the married couple, then I can say that their children are R and Z. In that case, this person's brother is going to be Q. Okay, now if you, so this is a boy, this is also a male and this is a female. Now what have they said in the question? They are saying that there are 2 fathers. Okay, there are 3 brothers, 1 mother and 2 fathers. So if we take this to be the condition, so you can see there are 2 fathers, correct? One father is X and the other father is P. So 2 fathers are there. 3 brothers. Who are the 3 brothers? 1, 2. The 3rd brother has to be Z. See, P and Q are brothers. Similarly, Z is the brother of R. So these has to be the 3 brothers, P, Q and Z. And 1 mother. 1 mother definitely has to be Y. 2 fathers, yes, that is satisfied. So based on the given information, this has to be the diagram. See, we placed X in the topmost generation, R and Z in the bottommost generation. Then the remaining people we had to place, we were not sure where to place them. But if we place them like this only, we will get a valid arrangement. Okay, P has to be here because P is the other father and there is 1 mother also. So definitely they both have to be married and this person has to be his brother. Okay, they have given Q is the brother of Y's husband. So based on all this, this is the arrangement that we get. Now let us look at the first question. Who is the mother of R? So who is the mother of R? See, what was the arrangement that we got? We had X, P, Y, then you had Q. I'm just drawing it here, Z and R. So these 2 are children of these people. Here, girl. Who is the mother of R? Mother of R is Y. How many females are there in the family? 1, 2. 2 females are there in the family. Which of the following is the group of brothers? Z, Q and P. That is P, Q and Z are the group of brothers. Who is Y's husband? Y's husband has to be P. That is option B. So these are the answers for the questions that follow for this question. Yes? Next question. A into B means A is the father of B. A divided by B means A is the daughter of B. A plus B means A is the sister of B. A minus B means A is the husband of B. Now there is one statement that is given like this. You have to find out how is H related to F. So what can you do here? F plus R means that F is the sister of R. F is the sister of R. Then what are they saying? R into H means that R is the father of H. R is the father of H minus L means H is the husband of L. So this is a boy. Question is, how is H related to F? So here the answer will be none of these, correct? See, H will be F's nephew, correct? See, G, these two are siblings. F and R are siblings and R's child is H. So F's nephew is H. So the correct answer here will be none of these, right? Father, brother, sister. Anyway, not any of these three. So it has to be none of these, right? If you see actual relationship, it will be F is the uncle, sorry, F is the aunt. F is the aunt of H, or if you look from F's side, H is F's nephew. How is H related to F? Correct. H is F's nephew. So answer is option D. Next question. Which of the following represents N is the mother of K? So N is the mother of K means, remember, N has to be a female. Now look at the first option here. N cross F is given. N cross F means N is the father of F. So this option is not correct. Why? Because N is not a female here with respect to this option. Similarly, look at next option. N minus M. N minus M means that N is the husband of M. Again, not a valid option. You cannot use because N has to be the mother of K. Third option. Here you have, okay. Now let us look at the fourth option. N cross F. Again, N cross F means N is the father of F. Not possible. So we are left with this option and none of these. So let's try to represent this option alone in terms of the diagram. H cross K means that H is the father of K. Then K plus N means that K is the sister of N. K is the sister of N. So with this, can I say that N is the mother of K? No, I can't say with this statement also. Again, not true. So the correct answer here will be none of these. None of these indicate that. Correct? See, if here it was divided by, let us assume that here it was H into K divided by N. In that case, I can say H is the father of K. Then K divided by N means K is the daughter of N. Correct? So that means that K is the daughter of N, or I can say that these two are a couple. Definitely this has to be the mother, because this you know already is the father. So like this you can say that would be the answer. If here it was divided, since here there it is plus, you can't take that also as the correct answer. So the answer will be none of these. Next, F minus R divided by T. How is F related to T? So what is F minus R? F minus R means F is the husband of R. So R divided by T means that R is the daughter of T. How is F related to T? So definitely F is the son-in-law, correct? F is the husband of T's daughter. So F is the son-in-law of T. So the correct answer here we are looking for is option A. Yes. Next question. If A plus B means that A is the father of B, A minus B means that A is the brother of B, and so on. Which of the following shows that M is the maternal grandmother of T? So for this you will have to try option by option. M is the maternal grandmother of T. So here you have, see everywhere you have M cross N. Correct? So M cross N means M is the mother of B. So in all these four cases, you know the gender of M is a female. So any of the possible answers can come. Because if you saw the one of the previous questions, we eliminated the option saying that the person we are looking for was a female, and all the other options the person was given as a male. So we eliminated options that way. But here if you look at the options, here everywhere you have M cross. That means that M is definitely a female. So you have to draw the blood relations and see. So M cross N means that M is the mother of N. Then what are they saying? N percentage S means that N is the wife of S. So N is the wife of S. S plus T means that S is the father of T. So here very clearly you can see that N and S have a child T. N and S have a child T, and M is the mother of N, or I can say that M is the maternal grandmother of T. Correct? See, T is the grandchild and his mother's mother is M. So if you look at the options, the first option definitely satisfies. We are very lucky here because the first option itself gives us the correct answer. So what we got was M, N. I'm just redrawing it here so that it's clear. These two have a children T. So this is the girl and this is the father. So mother, father. So this is the maternal grandmother. Correct answer is option A. You can also try out other options. Those will not be true for sure. Since we are lucky, we are getting the first one as the correct answer here, option A itself. So that is the answer that we are looking for. I think with that we are coming to an end of the questions chosen for today's session. What did we discuss today? First we saw the topic directions. What are the basic main directions that we have, and what are the intercardinal directions that we have. So we drew the direction diagrams. Then we learned that we need Pythagoras theorem to be made use in a lot of questions based on directions. Then the next important thing in directions is questions on shadows, like how to say where the shadow will fall during sunrise and sunset. So these were the important topics that we covered in the topic directions. Then we moved on to blood relations. As I said, in blood relations 3 types of questions come, wherein you are given complex statements about relations and you are asked questions based on that, like a person in a photograph is my brother's father's son, question of this sort. And then you have questions wherein you are given a few statements or about the relationship of the people, and then 4 or 5 questions based on that is asked. That is the second type. And the third type is the one involving symbols or inequalities. Okay, so these are the general types of questions that come from blood relations, and we solved questions based on this. Okay, so that's it from us. So try out these topics at home. Do take up the daily tests that are given to you, and do take up the All India mock exams. It will be really helpful for your preparation. If you have any doubts at any point in terms of your preparation, please do let me know. I am here to help you. Okay, so all the very best with your preparations, and this is Gayatri signing off. I'll see you in the next session. Good night and take care.